Welcome to Man Talk Real Talk, part 2 of a session that we've done with a young man called Kwakwa. And the reason why we're doing a part 2 is because this session was so inspirational. Listen to the wisdom that Michael's sharing and take on board what you feel is relevant to yourself and apply it to your life. I've read his book, H.E.A.L, H.E.A.L. Tune in, pick the pieces from it. Kwakwa to truly transform your life.
Thank you for having me. Much appreciated. How are you?
Brilliant, man. Summarize the whole H.E.A.L process so that everybody understands what it's there for, the pillars. So go through the steps of H.E.A.L, go through those again, because I really want people to get that. And I really do want people to go and purchase this book, because I believe it's going to be a massive impact on transformation in their lives.
Yeah, so H is for health, E is for education, A is for assertiveness, L is for love. This book is basically a self-help book for people to work their way through mental health adversities. I understand that people have gone through a whole load of trauma where certain things need to be addressed, let's say like with therapists and stuff like that. Like certain people need to go to therapy, and I understand that. But I also feel that this book can help them. That's the reason why I wrote it. I actually want to make this a series where it's like, this is part 1. I named this one part 1. I want to make a part 2 element of the healing process, and then work our way through it, because I understand like when we have mental health problems, it's not just a thing where we just read a book and then do certain things in the book and then it disappears. It's an ongoing thing. Like it could be a thing that you're dealing with it for your entire life. So I feel like if I create this atmosphere where you can read and you can get engaged in certain activities to alleviate the pain and challenge it and challenge yourself to overcome your mental struggles, then I feel like that'll be my job half done in that atmosphere anyway.
I mean, I can see this, you doing kind of workshops and do you do anything like that? Online training or anything like that?
Not at the moment, not at the moment, but I'll definitely be looking into stuff like that. I feel really strongly about this, and I want to turn this into a whole atmosphere where the result would be us speaking, like literally talking. You see, like where they have speed dating, like they have speed dates in different places, Like I want there to be like some sort of event where literally we just talk. It could be speed talking. Like you unload, this person lets you know a solution that what they went through, solution that they picked, and then maybe that can help the next person and the next person and the next person, because it all starts with us speaking to each other. The one of the issues is that we talk to each other, but we don't talk to each other. It's more like we talk, but we still have our guard up. If you get what I'm saying, unless we're really close to each other or our boiling point. I want to call it speed therapy. We'll see. Thank you for that idea. That's but I'll definitely look into stuff like that. So literally, so that's what the book stands for. So health, education, assertiveness, and love. And I feel like if you start with this book, you start to read this book, like it'll be the start to a journey that may be difficult, but it could help you at least look in the mirror and understand yourself a bit more, understanding what I went through. Because me growing up, I never saw books like this. And I feel like had I read books like this growing up, I would have been able to manage my mental adversities a lot better. But I also feel that as well as this book, action is important. Action is very, very important with us anyway. Assertiveness for me helped me understand what was important, what's not important. My kids, the most important to me. Helping others that can help themselves is not as important to me. If it takes away from this, what I need to do, then I simply cannot do it. And it took me a long time to get to that point. I don't mind disappointing this other person for it's not even if I was to ask that person wouldn't do it for me. I got to that point, like everything that I did for other people, I felt like if I did it for myself, I'll be in a much better position, mentally anyway. Assertiveness was basically literally showing up for yourself. And showing up for yourselves means if it meant like a lot of no's, it meant so many no's that, I didn't even know how many friends or family I had. But it was easier for me because I was in Bedford at the time. So when I got back to London, it's like that no was in, overdrive. I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I could do this. If I can't do it, don't be disappointed with me, so forth and so forth. I can show up for myself, show up for my sons, be the best version of myself, and just carry on with life. That assertiveness to me is like a big de-stressor because it just cuts out a lot of the unnecessary rubbish in your life. Not to sound, dismissive or anything like that, but you'd be surprised, being a good person, you'd be surprised how many people try to leech off your energy, or try to suck the goodness out of you to an extent where you're like, oh, one thing that I never want to be, which I know I'll never be because I always preserve my energy, is I don't ever want to be that person that has been drained. Like I'm a person that speaks to many elders, and the main theme around them is they've been drained. Like things that they've gone through, the help that they've given to people. Like it's like people just drain you and they don't fill your cup for you. Like you have to go elsewhere to fill your own cup, and it becomes difficult. And I've always made it a point, like, not to get to that stage. But the only thing that saved me was the assertiveness, me being assertive in regards to my life and what I need to achieve. Because as far as we know, we only got one life, and we're in a good position where we're able to do more or less what we want. Yeah. So why spend the time killing ourselves for people that wouldn't care if we passed away the next day? That's my thoughts. Like, why go out of our way to kill ourselves for people when in actuality, life will go on if we drop dead out of stress. Life will just carry on. That's one thing that my dad told me that I disagreed with at the time, but he was very blunt in regards to his thought process and his advice. But life will go on. Assertiveness to me is like self-preservation, literally showing up for myself. And showing up for myself meant disappointing people and writing things down that I needed to do, writing things down that I needed to achieve and achieving them. Once I started doing those things, achieving them, even if I didn't see the results, it made me feel better because at least I'm working towards my goals. Like I used to think like it was selfish, but a selfish trait in terms of like your own self-preservation, because like I could go on and on and on about this, but it's so important. It's so important. If you're a person that, people just take this leech off constantly, it becomes so difficult. Life becomes very, very difficult, and you end up working for people for free. There's nothing wrong with helping people, but within your own limits, like boundaries. Boundaries are important. I'm a person that helps people regardless. First thing I think to do, but we always have to have those boundaries. If you don't have those boundaries, you're never going to be happy because people will unknowingly push those boundaries. Some will knowingly push those boundaries. A lot of people unknowingly push those boundaries because they don't know what it's like to be on the other side. Yeah, so literally showing up for myself. Sorry if it seems like I was a bit passionate.
Brother, listen, this is Man Talk, Real Talk, and you're talking real talk right now. I'm just listening. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to what you got to say, and I'd rather you just say what you've got to say because I know this is healing many, many men that will listen to this right now, not just men in general, just people in general.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
going to help to heal people in general, because this is what it's all about,
yeah,
you know. So I'm really, really grateful that you're speaking from your heart.
yeah,
That's what this is all about. It's being able to give people the platform to speak from their heart and allow that conversation to flow, having meaningful conversation, but letting the conversation hit those areas that it needs to be hit, because whoever's receiving it are going to receive it, and it's going to have an impact on them and help them to get through a certain area of their life that they're having challenges in right now. You know,
yes,
so what you're saying is just absolutely impactful, and I'm loving every single word you're saying, brother. It's just resonating, and I know it's going to help many, many people, including myself, you know. So I don't want you to stop talking, if I'm honest with you. Rather you just carry on, man.
With males, what I've learned is like, more we
Yeah.
take active steps, the better, you know. So with the new book, it might even be like a documentary. I'm just thinking of ways to just address the situation and keep us engaged, you know, keep us
Mm-hmm.
engaged, because I feel like it's really important, because once you get your mind to a certain level in terms of like mental strength, you could achieve anything. You could achieve anything. I
Mm.
believe anyway. Like you just need to get to that point where you're like, okay, cool. Like I've been through this. This has shaped me. It may have shaped me a bit. It may have given me understanding, but I can take the good out of this and then move forward with my life. And if there's anyone else that needs help, I can open up to them, let them know what it is that they may need to do via my experience. And then one person teaches another person, then another person, then another person, and then we'll have less of our friends or our peers committing suicide.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa, brother. What you're saying is exactly why we've created this platform, Man Talk, Real Talk, is to inspire positive change and to allow men to understand that they're not on this by themselves.
Yeah.
You know, this is a platform where men can share their stories, and I'm talking about inspirational men that have been through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to get to something, you've got to go through something
Yeah.
to get there in the first place.
I agree.
You're exactly the type of people that we want to come onto this platform. Someone that's gone through a situation, but as Doug said on the previous episode that we recorded, your event plus your reaction to the event equals your outcome,
Yeah.
right? So the events that have happened to you, you know, and to anyone else,
Mm-hmm.
the reaction that you have to it, your reaction is to put this amazing book together,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with kind of a toolkit of what individuals can use to understand themselves, to better themselves, to know themselves.
Yeah.
You know, the book that I read, it says know thyself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In order for you to get the outcomes that you're looking for, whether it's money, I mean, money is a byproduct of success in my books anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the focus should never be about money. It should be providing service.
Yes.
You know, the service, if you give good service, then your reward is a good income from it,
Yeah.
you know. But don't let it all be all about the money, which is what a lot of people do. So whatever your outcome is that you're looking for in this book, H.E.A.L, it's got everything that you want in there to give you those, equip you
Yeah.
with the necessary tools to do that. Let's end on this, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick fire questions. I'm going to be very intentional here, because normally I ask some fun things and I feel the flow's kind of changed here. What's harder, forgiving others or forgiving yourself?
Forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself. Do you want me to elaborate on that?
If you feel that you want it, yeah.
I've always been told I'm too hard on myself. And I feel like a lot of men are,
Mm.
I agree. I feel like a lot of us are too hard on ourselves in terms of like how we feel we should be. There was a time I used to think, why am I like this? Why am I so giving? People have done really, really, really bad things to me. why do I forgive them? When I do something out of character or bad, I find it hard to forgive myself. Like I'm really militant with myself. I feel like I should have known this person was going to hurt me, or I should have known better in this situation or that situation. But a lot of forgiving yourself has to do with cutting yourself a lot of slack and knowing that you're only human. Once I realize I'm only human and I'm not Superman, my kids, like right now, they look at me as Superman. When they grow older, I'm going to let them understand like I'm a human being just like they are. We all make mistakes. We all go through things. Once that cape was taken off me, and once I took it off myself, I understood that, you know, I should forgive myself more because I forgive other humans. If we're all equal and we're all human beings, like we should learn to just forgive and just move on because it's difficult to look in the mirror also.
Levels to what you're saying, man. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions.
No worries, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Do you believe that healing ever ends, or is it lifelong?
One part of me feels like it depends on the person, but then I feel like it's a lifelong thing. But it's important to not dwell in the realms of self-pity and depression, anxiety and stuff like that. I feel like it's very important not to dwell there, you know? So when I say lifelong, I mean lifelong on the self-actualization, you know? Like that is the lifelong journey. And that's part of the healing process, like understanding who you are, because we're always evolving, always learning new things about ourselves. We're learning, like, we always go through things, you know, like the healing, the hard times build character and resilience. That's what I believe. The hard times mold us. They mold us to the versions that we become later on in life. And I feel like it's definitely a lifelong thing. But when I say lifelong, I don't mean dwelling in those realms where it's like you're just feeling down about yourself. I'm remembering the same thing that happened to me when I was like 7 or 8 or whatever the case may be. It's like learning to accept that maybe that happened, or that happened. Yes, this may have traumatized me, and I thought differently. It transformed my brain at the time and the way of thinking, but now I've learned from it. What can I do to improve the situation? So let's say something traumatic happened to me when I was 15. How do I take that? What do I learn from that situation? And how do I make sure that, let's say, the people after me or someone that may need it understands that, let's say my kids, I don't want them to go through that same thing. Like, how do I make them understand I'm a representation of resilience? This is what I've gone through, so you don't have to go through that. Or let's say you go through that as well, or you go through something similar. I'm able to guide you and help you and give you tools in order to overcome whatever mental adversity that you have from that traumatic event. If you understand what you went through and learn from it, you can always grow from it. And then with that, you pass the good part of it onto your children. They pass it on to their children. And then a few generations down the line, or even during my children's generation, like they'll be healed, like not completely healed, but just like they'll have more resilience than I did. Sorry to long out the answer.
You've answered it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like becoming a chain breaker in a sense.
Yes. Not to cut you off, sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Literally, we go through stuff. There's always a reason for everything. I watched a Jay-Z interview where he said, things don't happen to us, they happen for us. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, as hard as it may seem, as much as I've been through, like loads of stuff, like traumatic events, even 7 operations on my ear, like I act like I'm not deaf in my right ear or whatever the case may be, like various things. And it's like, these things happen for us. they build character, they build resilience, they build lessons. We always talk about wise people and whatnot, but the wise person is not a person that hasn't been through anything. The wise person has to have gone through something in order to give you the gems. The wise person was once a man that made mistakes. He had to have been, because there's no way, to me anyway, there's no way that he could have been wise without going through life and making mistakes. You know, that's why I say it's a lifelong thing, because if you don't transform, you transfer. So we have to constantly transform.
So far on this podcast, we've had a guy called Doug Bennett come on, and he spoke about the importance of writing down goals every single day for yourself, exactly what you're doing, you know. Before that, talking about the importance of movement, the reason why we should be intentional about, you know, getting in the gym and so on.
Yeah.
Everything kind of is aligning up. What you're saying here, there's a flow naturally happening on these podcast sessions as well. That's Connor Lynch, by the way, previous episode with him on there. And we've had a guy called Paul Beck. He spoke about the mindset, the growth that we should look to be gaining along the way as well. So everything kind of works together right now for greater good. Are you a believer?
Yeah. Grew up Christian, read the Bible, been baptized, communion, confirmation. Yeah, so yeah.
I'm a believer, man. I've been baptized as well.
Yeah.
You know, there's something happening here, how things are just coming together. From what you've said there's synergy. People, you've been listening to Michael Kwakwa. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yeah, correctly.
Thank you. Michael, how can people get in touch with you and find the book and so on? So just give us your Insta.
Yes, Instagram handle is @somebody'shero. And my TikTok handle is @_somebody'shero.
Brilliant. And the book, H.E.A.L?
Yeah.
Where can we find it?
It's on Audible, Amazon. So you can get the paperback and you can get the audio book as well.
Brilliant, man. Michael, it's been a privilege having you on here. Truly grateful and honoured, you know, for the connection that was made to get you on this platform, and the fact that you agreed to come on as well was amazing. So I'm really, really grateful for that. This has been rich conversation to many, many men out there, many people listening in, to myself, you know, and I'm just so grateful that you've been able to come on and share in the way that you've done it. So I appreciate your time, brother. Really do.
No worries at all. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This is therapy to me as well. One person at a time, we can complete the mission, or at least spark the brain of, you know, overcoming mental adversities for everyone.
Brilliant, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
If you want to contact us, the social media platforms, just go to Mastermind Academy UK Limited on LinkedIn, Instagram. You contact us on the www.mastermindacademy.co.uk and put your contact details on there, and we'll contact you. Thank you for supporting the platform. We hope you share to your friends, share it to whoever you feel is necessary, and learn from it.